So as you all guys probably saw, the Packers lost to the Eagles 10-7. And there's a lot of things that I need to talk about. I normally don't make videos of regular season losses just because, you just got to move on. But this is a big problem. Now, I know everyone's going to say, like, oh, yeah, you guys are privileged. You're still above 500. I mean, yes, I'm glad we are not the Jets. But I feel like this team is too good to be playing how we've played. So, first of all, everyone's pointing fingers at Matt LaFleur. Well, I do think Matt has been calling plays terribly, especially he needs to get our $55 million quarterback involved. I think we shouldn't fire him. Everyone's saying fire LaFleur, fire LaFleur. He's had a really, really good record throughout the Packers, and he's led us to the playoffs. While he hasn't led us to the Super Bowl, he's better than any other coach available. Now, I think he should just give up play calling. Now, do I think he will give up play calling? I don't know. I mean, if you saw him in the press conferences lately, he hasn't really been taking much accountability. And I think a lot of this falls on him. He should just be worrying about coaching. There's a decent amount of coaches that don't call plays, and I'm completely fine with that. I mean, we're playing the Giants next week. They don't have Jackson Dart. They don't have Scatterboo. They don't have Neighbors. Why not experiment with a new offensive play caller against the Giants? I forgot to mention this, but if you guys saw on the 4th-and-1 play call, the Eagles defense knew exactly what the Packers were doing.
It's Jacobs, flag flies.
And instead of audibling it, calling a timeout, they decide just to stick with that play call, and obviously it didn't work out. Next is Jordan Love. I mean, Jordan Love, he hasn't been playing terribly. Everyone always is criticizing him for the loss, saying, oh, Jordan Love's not actually a good quarterback. I mean, he's decent. I'd say he's top 12, a minimum, maybe top 10. And everyone's all going to say, look at his stats. Stats don't really matter. If you watch the game, you'd be able to see Matt LaFleur was calling lots of runs, and he tried to do what he could do. Yes, he needs to stop throwing risky footballs, but I mean, it's not all on Jordan Love, and it's not really even a decent amount on Jordan Love. Run game was fine. I mean, Josh Jacobs needs to be more efficient with the ball, I feel like. We need to hold on to the ball especially. We cannot have those fumbles. But, yeah, I mean, Josh Jacobs averaged like less than 4 yards a carry, I'm pretty sure, which it's not too decent. I mean, we have to, if we're going to run the ball as much as we are, it has to at least be consistent. And, I mean, with wide receivers, it looked like the Packers had the best depth in the league, which they still do. They have like 7 or 8 wide receivers on their roster that are still even decent. Like Malik Heath is not terrible. I didn't really see Malik Heath play. Bo Melton played. Dobbs played for half the game, I think, a little bit more than half. Then he was injured. Watson played. Savion Williams returned the ball, but I didn't see him play a lot on offense. I mean, if he's okay to return, he should be fine playing on offense. Jaden Reed is injured. Wicks, he was okay. There was a bunch of drops, which it was all last year. There was so many drops. We fixed it, and now we have a little bit more problems. We need Jaden Reed back. We need Dobbs to be healthy. And when Golden comes back, I don't know when, but they need to target him the ball. He needs to be their deep threat. And, I mean, Packers didn't really get Luke Musgrave involved. I think they really missed Tucker Kraft, and I don't know why they didn't trade for like a Michael Mayer or a David Njoku, Chiga Konko, somebody that could just be there. I mean, Michael Mayer wouldn't be there for 1 year, but like somebody that could be there for 1 year just to fill in for Tucker's spot and lead us to the playoffs. O-line hasn't been great either. I mean, Elton Jenkins looks like he might be out for almost the rest of the season unless we make it deep in the playoffs, which sucks because I just don't know. Our offensive line didn't even do that well. And, I just feel Jordan Love did not have as much time as I would like. I mean, part of it was on him. He did not get rid of the ball. But it sucks. I don't know what we're going to do if there's any free agent center or somebody, but we're going to have to make some moves. And before we start talking about defense, I feel like I need to bring this up. It's about the refs. Now, I don't like to blame the refs, and the refs did not lose us this game. I feel like they are starting to be the Eagles are starting to be the new Kansas City Chiefs when it comes to like referees and stuff. Don't get me wrong, I don't think anything's scripted. I don't think they're trying to give calls to the Eagles. It's just, especially with the tush push, if I'm going to be honest, I don't think the tush push should be banned because it's too overpowered. If a play is too overpowered, then just find a way to stop it, or you can do the same play. I think it's with the reffing. You saw it last week with the Giants where they just took the ball out of Hurts' hands and they called it not a fumble. And there's been so many false starts. And when other teams false start, they don't call it, but when other teams false start, they do call it. But when the Eagles false start, they don't. And while Packers did get away with one, the Eagles clearly they almost made contact with the defensive player before the ball was snapped, which is crazy. And I don't know, nobody really saw this, honestly. But on Saquon's 15-yard run, I'm going to pop a picture of or a video of this. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted by the NFL. But Micah Parsons was getting manhandled. This was absolute holding to the point where Micah could not even reach for, to say, could I have a holding call for this? Because I just feel, I know I'm going on long about the refs. Now, the refs did not lose us this game, and yes, there was a missed Micah tripping call, but I feel like the tush push should be banned just because it's too hard to officiate. Okay, now speaking of Micah Parsons, you know what's crazy? I've seen so much hate lately in the last couple weeks not from Packers fans, but from other football fans on how, the Cowboys actually might have won the trade and stuff like that.
I don't know if you noticed this last night with Micah Parsons. He didn't have a sack. He didn't have a quarterback hit. Let me check the stats. Oh, it's the second straight game.
If you guys actually watched football and just didn't stare at the box score, you realize, I don't know if Micah Parsons is first in pressures this season, but I'm pretty sure he's top 5, top 10 in pressures, which I feel like is more important than sacks, because sacks quarterback could just get rid of the ball right away. Where pressures, if you see Micah Parsons is all over Jalen Hurts while getting held almost all the plays and getting double and maybe even triple teamed. And everyone's like, oh, Micah Parsons has 6.5 sacks this year. Oh my gosh, he's actually kind of terrible. Yeah, but he's been paving the way for other people to do it. So, if you watched even, one game of football, you realize that Micah Parsons is a wrecker there. And, yeah. Honestly, I don't really have much else to say about the defense. Cooper's a dog. Maybe we need to get a little better pass rush, but Lucas Van Ness is gone. The only other thing that I'm really concerned about is cornerbacks. Looks like our depth at corner is not too great, and Asante Samuel just signed to the Steelers, which I was pretty confident we were going to get. So I don't know. I feel like we need to sign somebody, but I don't know. One other thing about the defense has been playing so well. Everyone could talk crap about how the defense is playing bad and how the Packers lost, but it's all been our offense. If you look, our 3 losses have been we've given up 10, 13, and 16 points. That's crazy that in all 3 of our losses, the defense is averaging allowing 13 points, which is crazy, especially including you played the Eagles in that. And this Packers defense, I feel like, could be the best team in the NFL, or the best defense in the NFL. I don't really even have much else to say. It's just shocking that Packers, if your defense only lets up 10 points, 13 points, 16 points, you should be able to win the game. That's really what I have to say. And last thing is the kicking situation. McManus has not looked healthy ever since his injury. I don't know what it was. I think it was a quad. But so McManus was injured, and they put in the substitute teacher, Havrasek, I'm pretty sure is how you pronounce his last name. He kicked a 61-yard field goal, longest field goal in Packers history. And then when McManus is like 30% healthy, they decide, let's just bench Havrasek and have McManus. McManus missed like 3 field goals. And they still had the guts to put McManus back out there to miss more field goals. Then in this game, the Packers had the ball at the Eagles. I think it was the Eagles 40 and the Eagles 41, and they did not kick both of those times because they were scared that Brandon McManus wasn't going to get there. And when you have a guy, those were 57 and 58-yard field goals. When you have a guy in Havrasek who has kicked 61-yarders with a little bit of room to spare, they need to, even just activating him, because that made them they made them punt on the 40-yard line, on the Eagles' 40-yard line. That's just inexcusable. You see Cam Little hitting 68-yarders. Cam Little could hit a 70-yarder in preseason. If you have a guy who can hit 61, you should not be punting on a 57. And McManus was saying, how he did not feel 100%, and that's just a no. It just should not be happening. You have, some teams, I guess, you could play the guy if you don't have any kicker on your practice squad. We had a guy who could hit 61. It's just inexcusable, if I can be honest. But really, that's it. Packers play the Giants. Should be an easy win. If not, if the Packers don't win against the Giants, we could be in really big trouble. Then we play Vikings, Bears, Lions. I don't know what order, but it's a tough schedule. Packers got to win a lot of their games. I think they could make a deep postseason run, but it all really depends on how they finish out this season. That's going to be it. See ya.